Okay, hello. We are here with Bahrain-based Mohammed Alkhalifa, an urban planner who I am super excited to welcome as the first correspondent in Bahrain to the Global Walkability Correspondence Network. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be part of the network.
Yes, and right now we're going to do a little recording. We're going to do the walkability rating recording, also to include public transit and cycling for Bahrain. So our scoring system is on a scale of 1 to 10. It's, as I always say, this is very conversational. It's just about getting people's, a window into your perception of what the state of walkability, cycling, and public transit currently is, and how would you envision changes to improve. So I will let you choose what you want to start with.
Oh, how about we go from the least good to the best?
Yeah.
I'd say we could start with biking.
Okay. So what is your score?
A solid 1.
Okay. All right. And reasons why, and all the things that need to be done to improve that.
Well, the thing is, the infrastructure for the most part doesn't exist for safe biking. And that's the main word, safety. Because there are like dirt roads or spaces where you can bike, but almost all of them are not safe. During the pandemic, when there were less traffic, people thought it was an illusion of, oh my God, it's safe. But unfortunately, we did have a lot of accidents, a lot of cars crashing into bikes, and it's just that it's not safe. However, it is changing, especially the main driver of biking infrastructure is the public housing system here, where a lot of these public housing towns and master plans have a huge biking infrastructure component to them. So it is improving, but for the most parts in the country, it is very, very, very unsafe.
Okay, so that's really interesting with the public housing having huge like infrastructure. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll hear more about that from you in the future. Okay, what are you going to go with next?
Walkability.
Okay.
I would score it, I want to say 3 or 4. I'll give it a 4. And I'd say that because there are a lot of pockets where you can walk around like the historic center and go to the traditional souk and stuff. But a lot of these pockets you need to drive to. You need to drive to a walkable area. And that to me defeats the purpose, because walkability to me is being able to walk right outside my house and get from point A to point B by walking. And for the most part, it doesn't exist. It's being slowly people are trying to accept it, but we had a conversation earlier of the biggest factor that hinders walkability is that it gets really, 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 really warm during the summer months. So it's physically impossible for a lot of people to walk for even just 2 to 5 minutes.
So people are generally choosing then cars with air conditioning.
Exactly.
Or public transit. How, I guess that goes into the third one. So is public transit existing, and I guess is it accommodating for the climate conditions?
I would rate the public transportation system, I want to say 6 or 7. We have a public bus system that's been, like the current bus system has been operating since 2014. The buses themselves are amazing, fully air conditioned, Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. The networks are very well organized, where it takes you to almost all the places in Bahrain. The only thing that hinders the bus system is that it shares the road with regular traffic. So whenever there's a traffic jam, the bus is there and you're stuck for a long time. This is why I'm personally in favor of dedicated bus lanes and BRT, because it just gets the bus running like a train. I think that's the only improvement that the government is considering improving. But for the time being, I would say it's not bad at all. Especially when you're in the super urban areas of the country, like from the capital to the second largest city where there's not as many highways, the connectivity is much better than, say, the capital city to other suburban towns where if it's a traffic jam in the highway, that's it. The entire bus system is just slowed down significantly.
Right, I understand that. Yeah, dedicated lanes are so important. In my local area, I often ride the bus, and it's just that there's no dedicated lane, and it's I like it. I prefer it because I can relax. I don't have to be driving in that traffic, but it would be great to have a dedicated lane. And so there is aircon on the bus, and so
Free Wi-Fi,
free
free Wi-Fi, and now they're advancing the ticketing system so you can pre-buy it on your phone rather than going to a kiosk or anything. So it's becoming much more efficient.
Can you also use money, or is it only digital?
Yeah. You can use cash.
You
You
can
can
use
go
cash.
through the kiosk. Yeah.
And also, is public transit, would you say it's used widely across groups, you know?
No,
Not really.
I would say that the stigma behind bus transportation specifically is very heavy. It's all over the world where a lot of cities consider it the poor person's mode of transit. Um, but it's because of these little infrastructure shortcomings, like making it more efficient, making it more accessible, making it more to where I can have a bus station like 2 minutes from where I live, is what's going to just, I feel, disintegrate this kind of stigma behind it. It's just efficiency and accessibility.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to say thank you. We're going to round this off now, and we will be doing more in the future. Thank you.
Yes, looking forward.